Hi, everybody. I'm
Good
Jenny.
morning. Thanks for joining us. This is the second in our October spooky webinar series. And today we're going to be talking about the original web designers, spiders. So I have with me today Jenny Richards from Shawnee State Park. There's Jenny. Say hi, Jenny.
Hi, everybody.
And also going live now, Josh Pennington, also from Shawnee State Park. So say hi, Josh.
How is everybody? Good. Hello.
All right. And Josh is going to be our first speaker today. So take it away, Josh.
Awesome. All right. Well, today we're going to be talking about spiders. I kind of made this spider of science. It's like a model. I'm not sure how well you guys are going to be able to see it with the camera we have here, but I'm going to kind of go over the anatomy of the spider using this. It's nice to never be too old to play with some toys, so I think it's pretty cool. This part of the body, it would be the abdomen, and this part is the simplothorax. And then I'm going to try to zoom in, and then back here, this would be your spinnerets. And I'll come back to this later. I'm going to circle back around to the spinnerets. And then the spider has 8 legs. Let me pull this back. You can see all the 4 legs on this side and then 4 legs on this side, making 8 legs. And then I'm going to try to show you the eyes. You can see the main, hold on a second, the main eyes right here, and them are for binocular vision. And then the ones right here next to it on each side would be for detective movement. And then the pedipalps, I had the spider upside down, are right here. These are the pedipalps, and they're kind of made to hold on to the prey, and they're very flexible. And then the fangs of the spider is right here, and it grabs a hold of its prey and then kind of holds it in there and envenomizes it. And the silk kind of came out already. So the silk actually starts off as a liquid. So I'm going to try to do that now. I already messed this all up. So it starts off as a liquid, and then it rubs these spinnerets together, and then it produces this nice long string of silk. So this is the spider, and I'm going to show you something else with it if I can. This is very hard to do on a laptop, so I hope it's turning out better than what I'm seeing. So the legs of the spider, when they walk, the back leg will stretch out, and then it takes the front leg and kind of pulls, and then the side legs kind of act as more like training wheels. So the back leg and front leg makes this awesome straight line. I'm not sure if you can see how well this would line up, but that's how the spider runs.
We can see it just fine, Josh, just so you know.
Awesome. Yeah.
The camera's fine.
Is it good? Okay, good.
Yep. I also just want to remind everybody, if you've got questions for Josh and Jenny, there is a live Q&A feature here on Teams, so feel free to post your questions, and we will ask Josh and Jenny for the answers as we go along.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to pull this PowerPoint up real quick. All right, is that showing up on your guys' end? Hello? Am I having technical difficulties?
I don't think so. You want to do the view as in Lex slideshow from the beginning. The whole screen.
Yeah. Is that showing up? I can't hear anybody.
Yep, there you go. All good.
Oh, there you go. Okay, good.
Forward your slides.
This?
You can use that, yeah.
Okay. Just so you guys know, I have never done this before. So this is my first time, which is special to me. So hopefully this is great. This is the Itsy Bitsy Spider presentation I put together. What are the benefits of sharing our world with spiders? Well, the one thing that comes to my mind right off the bat is insect control. It's the spiders really help us control and keep the insect population at control. They're great on the ecosystem. And then I got a picture of a hummingbird here, which spiders are a good food source for most birds, not necessarily the hummingbird here, but the hummingbird uses a spider's webs to kind of put its nest together. As you can see, it's in its nest. It takes the common lichens off the tree and then uses the spider's web as like a glue or adhesive to kind of mold and hold everything together. So I think it's really neat to kind of cover the positive side of the spider. And it being October, the spider is kind of a symbol of October, a symbol of Halloween. So it's nice to show, hey, they benefit the beautiful hummingbird and other things as well. And then the spider anatomy. I kind of went over this, but I'm going to go over this again. You got your spinnerets on the back of the abdomen. You got your two segments of your body. You got your abdomen. You got your symphythorax there. You got your 8 legs, and you got your pedipalps up front. And then your things are right underneath those. And the spiders have 6 to 8 eyes. I think I might have skipped that on the model there. So they got 6 to 8 eyes. Oh, endoskeletons and exoskeletons. So these right here are exoskeletons. So the spider sheds or molts, and it comes out of its exoskeleton here. And you can actually, this picture on the right, you can see where the legs, each leg pulled out of the symphythorax area. And then you can even see the darker spots in the front is where the things came out. So they shed their things and all when they molt. And it's a very neat looking shed. And both of these spiders are actually the common fishing spider, which is pretty neat. All right, now the spiders we have in Ohio are so amazing. When I was a kid, I was always fascinated with spiders, and I'm like, I want to go to the Amazon and go check out these awesome spiders. They do this and that, not realizing what I had really in my own backyard. This is a red-banded crab spider, and it ambushes its prey by it can change color, and it will do so by the flower it's on. And this picture, it's bright yellow, blending in here, and it's got a bee there that it's preyed upon. But I just think it's so cool how we have these spiders in Ohio that can change color from yellow to pink to a white and a cream color, and just depending on their background that they're on to ambush their prey. I think it's really neat. The garden spider. So this is a spider I get sent to me a lot of questions I get asked on this spider. It's a very large spider. It can be quite intimidating. It's commonly found in your gardens and around your house. And the one on the left is the banded garden spider, and the one on the right is the yellow and black garden spider. Both are female. They have this distinct pattern in their web. You can kind of see it on the one on the left. It has like this zigzag pattern there in the web, which all the garden spiders have. Very neat. Something else the garden spider does, if you come across one and you get too close to its web, if it feels threatened at all, it will do this really neat thing. It will like shake its whole web back and forth, making itself look more intimidating because it shakes. It's a pretty good sized web. They make a circular web, which is orbital, and it will shake the web if it feels threatened, which is pretty neat. This is the furrow orb weaver spider. This is another one I get sent a lot, and it's pretty easy to identify because of the abdomen. Almost seems hairless, really lacks hairs, visibly anyway. And that would be your furrow orb weaver, probably one of the more common orb weavers in Ohio. Pretty neat spider as well. This is actually on the side of somebody's house here. You can't really tell it in the background, but that's where they like to hang out, is on the side of buildings. This is an arabesque orb weaver, and this spider is named after the way it makes its web. So this spider is, well, arabesque is a type of ballet. I skipped that part. It's a type of ballet. So they are known to spin and weave their webs ever so beautifully. For a spider to do the spin just like a ballerina does. And that's how they got their name, the arabesque orb weaver. Now this kind of looks like the furrow orb weaver. They can kind of get mixed up with the markings on them, but if you notice on the abdomen on the arabesque here, it's you can see the hairs on it pretty good, where the furrow lacks those hairs on the abdomen. Good way to tell them two apart. Oops, I skipped one. So this is a good example of good camouflage. This is the triangle bearing orb weaver. This is probably one of the more unique spiders in Ohio, in my opinion, which I'll circle back around to that as well. But they kind of resemble, you see the way that these spiders tuck their legs into their symphythorax, into their abdomen, to where they're not really so noticeable. And the one on the right really demonstrates it. They kind of resemble a bird poop, and not a lot of things really like eating bird poop. So they kind of avoid being preyed upon by resembling something that nothing just wants to have nothing to do with. Both of these spiders, you can see they support different colors. The triangle bearing orb weaver can either be white or yellow, or it can be like an in-between, like a cream color. They're a very unique spider in Ohio, though, because if you catch one in its circular web, and they like to build their webs along trails and stuff, but they're the only spider in Ohio that hangs upright. It's the only spider that doesn't hang upside down, like you would traditionally think of a spider hanging upside down in a web, or from coming down off of a piece of a silk. When they're in their web, they actually hang upside right, so their head's facing the sky, and their arrow-shaped triangle is pointing towards the ground, which is very odd for a spider to do that. This, if you go out hiking, this one you probably know. This is the spine macraneth spider. This is a female, both of them are, and they can be a little different in color as well. As you can see, the one on the left, which is in my hand, is much darker with a little bit of the pale white, where the other one on the right has the more white going there. So they can vary in color a little bit, but they really like to build their circular web, once again an orbital web, right in the middle of hiking trails. And it seems like they like to build it about 6 feet or so, which is about right where my head is. I seem to catch most of these with my face when I walk on trails. They blend in very well. Let's talk about this wicked abdomen here. And it's amazing to look at some of these spiders and be like, that's in Ohio? Like, this is a very common spider that you see in Ohio. The abdomen has these spikes on it. And it has a purpose. Since they hang out in the open on the middle trail, they're kind of vulnerable for birds to prey upon them. So this adaptation here with their spine abdomen, birds don't really care for that. And if a bird tries to get one, it feels this and then usually lets go of the spider right away, allowing the spider to escape. So that is a spine macraneth. This is a spider I get asked a lot about as well. This is a beautiful spider. This is the arrow-shaped macraneth spider. It has spikes on it as well towards the end of the abdomen there. But you can see how they get their name. If you count the spikes, it kind of looks like an arrowhead. So it gets the arrow-shaped macraneth there. This has the same thing. It has a very hard casing on the abdomen. Birds don't care for that at all, so this allows them to escape being preyed upon. Very beautiful spider. One that you don't see as much as some of the other ones I showed. So I like to photograph whenever I get a chance. This is American grass spider. So this is my favorite spider. If someone asks, what's your favorite spider? This would probably be it. And the reason being that this is kind of my childhood spider. This is a spider I grew up with a lot on the side of buildings and stuff. And they make this sheet web. And in there is a hole, a funnel hole that they can kind of hide in. It's like their retreat. And they'll stay inside that hole and wait for a prey to hit the web, and they can sense that motion inside their funnel. And when it does, they can run out there, and they're really fast spiders. They can run out really quickly and then pounce and then venomize their prey. Their web, they're able to move so quickly and run so quickly on this sheet web because it's not actually sticky. it's just weaved in a bunch. So they just kind of hover right on top and move really fast. This is a pretty neat spider that's really popular right now. I seen some this morning on the drive with the dew on. But if you get a big long piece of grass and ever so gently, don't want to tear the web up, but if you see one of these sheet webs with a hole in it, you can take that long blade of grass very gently and just very tap on the edge of the web if you want to, and you can actually call this spider out by doing so. It will run out and pounce right on your blade of grass, and you can witness how fast these spiders really are. This is a spider that also gets very confused with the wolf spider. As you can see, it kind of resembles a wolf spider by the looks of it. There's a couple ID features to separate it. The large spinnerets, the eye placement, and it makes a sheet web, which I will cover that when I get to the wolf spider. But yeah, this is my favorite spider, the American grass spider. I had an awesome video of this. I couldn't figure out how to load it on here. I'm still learning, but it'll get better. Do all spiders make webs? Well, the wolf spider actually don't. It don't use webs. It pounces on its prey. It uses its binocular eyes, which is located right in the front. So this is a striped wolf spider, and I kind of placed it here right against the grass spider because this is the wolf spider that gets mixed up a lot with the grass spider, which I just went back to right there. They do look very similar. The striped wolf spider, just like the other wolf spiders, do not make web. They pounce on their prey, and they're very fast as well. This is another wolf spider that we have here in Ohio. This is the brush-legged wolf spider. This one you'll find a lot around the creeks. They like getting around stones and stuff. It's a really kind of a pretty spider. The picture don't really say how good it looks. It's really bright silver stripe there along the symphythorax and the abdomen. When the sunlight hits it, it just looks very nice. This is the field wolf spider with her spiderlings, the baby spiders. You can see them on her back, on her abdomen, just piled on. And then same with her symphythorax. There you can see a nice little pile of spiderlings. So the wolf spider carries the egg sac in a unique way before the spiderlings are hatched. She'll drag it around behind her abdomen, hooked onto around her spider nets. And when it hatches, the spiders just simply get on top of mom's back and hitch a ride until they're big enough and or she's ready to get rid of them off of her back. But this is a really cool picture. And the field wolf spider you can ID it actually between the eyes. You can see the stripe going between the binocular eyes there, the primary eyes, is a good way to ID this from the other wolf spiders. They lack that stripe down the primary eyes there. Can spiders swim? Well, some species here in Ohio can actually swim pretty well. We have a few fishing spiders that not only can swim excellent on top of the surface, but are known to go under the surface and hunt as well. They can trap air bubbles. This is how they do it. They can trap air bubbles. They're very hairy, as my demonstration spider is very hairy. They're able to trap these air bubbles inside their hair when they go under, and they get air supply through those tiny air bubbles that they support when they go under the water. There's other spiders besides the fishing spider that likes to do this. And for those of you that have a in-ground pool, if you do, you have maybe came across one or two of these before, or maybe in your dog's dish or something that outside, or some kind of water source, you probably have came across a wolf spider or a fishing spider submerged and very much alive. The wolf spiders is another species that does this, usually this time of year. And they do that to the nights get cold and that water is actually warmer than the air temperature is. So they just simply get in there to warm up a little bit. Unfortunately, sometimes they accidentally drown by doing that. But they can hold their breath really long and get the air bubbles on their hair and able to hold their breath for a long time. Both spiders can do that, though. I just recently learned that the wolf spider could. Okay, now what I get asked a lot about the venomous spiders in Ohio, which all spiders are venomous. It's just a matter of how bad. Well, so what I like to do is what is threatening to humans. And the spiders that we have that's threatening to humans in Ohio is the black widow spiders is one of them, which we have 2 subspecies of black widows in Ohio. You got the traditional black widows. Both of these pictures are southern black widows, the one on the right and the one on the left. I couldn't get a picture of the northern black widow, which we do have in Ohio. It's one of the subspecies, and it can be ID'd. It has the same red marks on the abdomen, except instead of making the traditional hourglass that we think of with the widow, there's actually a little separation there in between, so it doesn't quite make an hourglass. So we got like over 30 species of black widow worldwide, and we got 2 of the subspecies here in Ohio. The redback spider in Australia is a beautiful one. So now I'm gonna go on to another one. This is another threatening spider we have here in Ohio, the recluse spiders. And like the widow spider, we actually got 2 subspecies of this spider too. We got the brown recluse, which you hear a lot about, and then you got the Mediterranean recluse that we also have in Ohio. Now the widow, you can kind of distinguish a little bit between the 2 by the markings. The recluse spiders are very hard to tell apart between the brown and the Mediterranean. The best way to ID these spiders, either one, is the violin shape or pattern on their symphlothorax really resembles the instrument of violin. So I've heard this referred to as the violin spider. Whoops, I did not mean to go to the next slide. So you can see the violin there on the symphlothorax. And it resembles that very much so. So we got the 2 subspecies of recluse in Ohio, but these are spiders that usually won't bite. It's usually if it gets caught in your clothing or in your shoe or smashing into defense. I keep hitting that next slide. So this is the jumping spiders. My opinion, probably the cutest spider in Ohio. All of them are. I just love their little adorable faces with the huge primary eyes there in the front. And we have numerous species, subspecies of the jumping spider here in Ohio. This is a bowl jumper on the left, probably the most common jumping spider you see in Ohio. And then we got an emerald jumper over here on the right. They're both really awesome spiders. They use the binocular vision. So they got the eyes on the side here next to the primary eyes. The big ones are for binocular vision, and the other ones pick up the movement. So they pick up the movement, and then they're able to zoom in on it and stalk their prey by pouncing on it. Pretty neat spiders we have in Ohio. Oh, daddy longlegs, and I get asked this tons. Daddy longlegs, are they the most venomous spider in the world? I've heard a lot of different stories that their things are too small to penetrate our skin, and so these are all, I would call this, I guess, urban legends, because the daddy longleg is not a spider. It is an arachnid. It has 8 legs. It is an arachnid. So is a scorpion, a horseshoe crab, but they only have 1 segment on their body. They do not have fangs at all, nor do they have venom. They lack spinnerets, so they do not produce any type of silk. So they're not venomous. They chew more solid stuff, and they like mushrooms. They eat a wide variety of stuff. So yeah, that's an urban myth about the daddy longleg being venomous. It is not even a spider. It doesn't have venom. I thought I'd kind of cover that. It is an arachnid, so I thought it would fit into this a little bit. I kind of already said this, but isn't it a spider and arachnid? Yes, a spider is an arachnid. So are scorpions, ticks, mites, horseshoe crabs, and harvestmen. A harvestman is another name for the daddy longleg. So you can, say harvestman instead of saying daddy longleg. Now, this is just awesome example of camouflage and ready to ambush. This is the grassland crab spider, and it is on a rush, and it's just lined up ever so neat with it. Its legs are all nice and lined up and blends right in to that rush. Now, this is a beautiful picture of web. I think spider webs are beautiful, especially this time of year with the dew and stuff. And these are orbital webs because they're circular. I didn't cover that in my PowerPoint. I did mention the grass spider making a sheet web, but spiders make different kinds of webs. You got some that make a triangle shaped web. The triangle orb weaver makes, or the triangle weaver, I'm sorry, makes a triangle web. And these are orbital webs because they're circular, and you got a sheet web. And then you got another spider called a balsa spider that makes it drops this strand down a length of a silk, and on the silk are little balls of some type of like a sticky substance, like adhesive. And the spider produces moth pheromones. Gives off the moth pheromones. So when a moth comes flying in to investigate the pheromones, and when it gets in close range of this spider, the spider takes and like lassos and casts out its line while this moth is in flight, gets it on its wings, and then hoist it up to the spider to for the spider to venomize it. And I just think that's amazing. The moth thinks it's going on a date, and it turns out to be the worst date the moth ever had. So I think that's kind of interesting as well, how these neat spiders we have in Ohio and the beautiful things they make. Now, here we got two spiders, and they're totally different spiders, but they're both on a very awesome flower, and I just felt like I had to share the yellow French orchid here, and I just think that's really awesome how these spiders will get onto the flowers, to make an easy ambush. And that's exactly what they have done here, both of them. And that is my PowerPoint. So have a very nice day. This is a goldenrod crab spider smiling at you on its abdomen there. I thought that was pretty neat. They're another spider in Ohio that changes color. So I think it's awesome.
Okay, actually, Josh, you're not off the hook quite yet.
Oh, yeah.
We have a lot of really good questions today. So
awesome.
Nate wants to know, do all spiders have venom?
In Ohio, yes. Now, I have read about a spider over in the Asia area that is mostly eats vegetation, which is very cool. I haven't done enough research on it, though, to make that. But yes, everything in Ohio definitely is. Yes, for sure. Does that answer it?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Okay, so next question is from Shelby. Do all spiders have two sets of eyes?
Well, they can really vary. And I didn't cover this, and I should apologize for that. So let me backtrack a little bit, and I'll answer your question in this. So like the daddy longleg, for example, it only has 2 eyes, where most spiders have 6 or 8 eyes. So that kind of varies a little bit in their eye placement. All your spiders start off as being categorized depending on how their eye placements are. My little spider I made, I kind of copied the jumping spider, even though it might look more like a wolf spider, but I didn't use that eye placement for a wolf spider. So yeah, it kind of depends a little bit. That's a good question.
And that's a great answer. So Kaden and Layla would like to know, how do spiders have so much silk?
Ah, that's a good question. So it isn't actually the silk that we see. It actually starts off as a liquid. So this little bit of liquid turns into a little bit of liquid can stretch it very far away, and silk is so stretchable, and it's very strong. Actually, it's the strongest natural fiber we have in the whole world. Even with all the technology we have today, we cannot make something as strong as spider silk still. It's stronger than steel, more flexible, So it's pretty amazing what silk is. Even in World War II, the fighter planes, the little crosshairs made out of black widow silk. Pretty cool.
Nice. That's a good little trivia bit right there. All right, one more question before we go over to Jenny. This was just from an anonymous viewer, and they wanted to know, do spiders eat each other?
Yeah. Okay. So this is really cool. I'm going to throw this in here just because it's in Ohio and it's a new study. It's still fresh on me. The University of Cincinnati, the professor slips on mine, and I apologize for that. But he did a study on wolf spiders. I believe it was the field wolf spider, and they do eat their own. But his study kind of showed that they don't eat their own family, which they can kind of tell their kin apart amongst all their brothers and sisters that they have, that they will go out of their way. But if another spider family tries to come inside their territory area a little bit, that they will eat that particular spider. So that was at a University of Cincinnati. I read about that. So that was really cool.
Very cool. All right. Thank you so much, Josh. We have questions coming in just like about every minute. So we're going to go to Jenny right now. And if you have just posted a question, we will circle back around to them at the end. So here is Miss Jenny Richards.
All right. That was really awesome, Josh. Thank you so much for sharing that great presentation. I learned so much. And when I was asked to accompany Josh with the spider webinar, I thought, I better go to the library. And I went to the library and I picked up a bunch of cool books. Look at all these books that I got from the library about spiders. I went to the kids section, which is like kind of on my level, and I read all these great books and learned so much before this presentation. So if there's something that you're afraid of or you need to learn more about, use your local library. Books are awesome. I like flipping the pages. I like the smell of books. So I'm just going to say, go to the library every once in a while and grab some books because they're filled with awesome knowledge. Josh shared all of the fun facts with us, and I was thinking it might be fun if we did a craft together. So we're going to make a crawling spider just like this. We're going to have 2 pieces of paper, some yarn, some tape, and we are going to make some folds in our paper to be able to make this creepy crawly spider that you can have it crawl up on a chair or something. So my daughter made this cool Black Widow one. And then I made this one that kind of looks like a garden spider. I'm not a great artist. So you can make this with me now and then you can color it later. But before we go on, I'm going to share, let's see, my PowerPoint. It's just got a few pictures. Jenna, how is it that we turn on the volume so that people can hear me on the PowerPoint before I share it? If I just open it, will it automatically turn the volume on?
There should be, on the video, there should be a box over to the left that you click that says turn the sound on.
Okay, I don't see it, but that's okay. I can.
Is the video embedded in your PowerPoint?
Yeah. Yep, it is.
Do you have it separately somewhere, or could you pull it out?
I can translate.
Okay.
That's all right. So what we want to do is decide which spider we want to draw. Josh was showing us a whole bunch of different types of spiders. He showed this garden spider. The photos that I've used, I only have maybe 4 pictures of spiders, but the photos that I've used were taken by my friend Al Mumrick, and one was taken by another naturalist. I noticed Josh had some of his photos too. Wiz Moore is his name. He's really, really a cool guy, and he loves spiders just like Josh. So I used photos from some of my friends. And I thought we could look through these spiders, and before you draw on your climbing spider, you might choose the spider that you want to draw. And some things that to look at to be able to distinguish one spider from another would be, you know, the legs, whether they're all going, 2 are going forward, 2 going back, the body shape, like on this garden spider here, the abdomen is long and oval, and the cephalothorax is much smaller. And the eyes are really something cool about all spiders that can help you tell the difference between them. And so this guy has 4 eyes in the middle and 2 eyes on either side of his head. So if you draw the orb weaver, you're going to make him look something like this. Now this spider, I took this picture on my front door, and I didn't know what it was, and then I started studying the eyes, and you can see that its eye arrangements, it's got 4 tiny eyes towards the fangs, and it's got 2 larger eyes in the middle, so it's got 3 rows of eyes, and then 2 eyes on the top, and that's one of the wolf spiders. I don't know which variety, but Josh knew because he just loves spiders, and so do I. They have very long legs, they're fast runners, and they have a large head compared to the body. So if you wanted to draw a wolf spider, you'd remember the eye arrangement and, yeah, the legs. This is my favorite type of spider of all, the jumping spiders. They have hairy little bodies, short little legs, but they can leap really, really far to grab their prey. Their body and their heads are about the same size, it seems, and they're kind of circular instead of oval. Then they have the eyes, 8 eyes, but 2 of the eyes are giant right in the center. And then you can see how the other eyes are laid out from this little picture that I have of the eyes. So if you wanted to do a jumping spider, it would look similar to that. And then I used the same picture that Josh used that Willard sent us over email, and this is one of my favorite spiders. Wow, look at those spines on its back, and it's more shiny, and it's got its legs in a different angle too, completely tucked under the back or the abdomen. So if you wanted to make a little Microthena spider, it would look similar to this. Now, as I was doing some research, I found this really great paper. It was written by this guy here from North Carolina, and he has all these cool pictures of spider heads and showing the eye arrangements. So the wolf spider eye arrangement you can see is number 1. Number 2 is the cute little jumping spider that I love so much. And then number 4 is the orb weavers. So if you want to make your spider look accurate to the spider you want to draw, you'll make its eyes look like that. Okay. Now, let's see. How do I just show me for a minute, Jenna? I want to go back to just me.
Just a second. You need to stop sharing, Jenny.
Okay, let me figure out how to do that. Uh-oh. Oh, no. There we go. But how do I stop? I can't get my... Just 1 second.
I think I got it going here, Jenny. There you are. It's just you.
Okay. How do I get out of that? You can see me now?
Yep, there you go. You were a little froze up, but you're good now.
Okay, so I can't see me, but you guys can. Okay, now I can see me. So here I am with this little spider climber that I have. What you're going to need is to take your 2 pieces of paper and put them together side by side. I'm using recycled paper. These are my daughter's schoolwork, but she had 1 piece that had a spare clean side. So I like to use my paper until it's all taken up so that I can love the trees as much as I can. So then I'm going to take these 2 pieces of paper and I'm going to fold them in 2, just like this. I also asked you to have a piece of yarn with you, so a piece of yarn about 6 feet long, and you're going to need a few pieces of tape. I'm using packaging tape, and that's it. So you're folding now, and then once you fold this time, you set your paper down and you fold up a little piece along the bottom, about a ½ inch along the bottom of where all the folds are. So you have the pieces that are together up top and the folds are at the bottom. You're going to fold that up and then take a piece of your tape, and you're going to tape along the fold. So here we are. We're folded up and we have a piece of tape along the bottom. Now we're going to take both sides and fold each side downward to make an angle at the top, so that both pieces are folded downward like this. Then we're going to take our yarn and we're going to put the yarn right in these folds. So I have a piece of yarn in this fold, and then I'm going to put a piece of tape here, and then I'm going to put a piece of yarn in this fold and put a piece of tape. Okay, so I'm going to tape down the folds and the yarn is tucked behind, and I've got this little loop coming out of the folds. I hope everybody's with me. I'm going to tape down my folds now. And then after all of that, after I've taped down my folds, I have a piece of tape that goes across there. I'm going to put a piece of tape on the bottom of each pieces of yarn, so that the ends of the yarn, so that when I'm climbing with my spider, it doesn't just, these pieces don't disappear into the folds. So here we go. We've got our folds, we've got tape, and then we're going to take a piece of tape and take the end here. Can you see that? Put a piece of tape at the bottom of that. That way you won't lose your yarn as you're climbing with your spider. And Josh, can you come over to this other room and hold the ruler for me so I can demonstrate how this works? We're going to do both of these bottoms with the tape. This is some really sticky packaging tape. Now, Josh, you take this ruler. Josh is going to take the ruler, and I'm going to hang my spider on the ruler. So I've got right here. So Josh is going to hold that. And now I'm pulling out. I don't know how much you guys can see of me, because now stand back, Josh. Mm-hmm. And then you just pull the ends and the spider climbs up the string. So if you draw your spider on here, you'll have a creepy, crawly, fun spider you can decorate, and you can take your time decorating it. You can paint it, you can color it all different ways, and this is just a fun little thing that you can have for years to come. It's just made out of 2 pieces of recycled paper, some tape, and some yarn. So I just wanted to demonstrate how to make the little piece of paper with the yarn. Then you can decorate it later. You don't have to decorate now. And then I also thought it would be really cool later with your families if you could make something to eat of a spider like this. I made these this morning. This is little pretzels and some meltable chocolate. I made a little video and demonstrated how I did it, so I can show that little video to you. But this is it. I just took some pretzels, laid them on wax paper in the circular pattern of an orb weaver. And this is a really cool fact about an orb weaver. I often wondered, how in the heck, if this spider web stuff is so sticky, how do the orb weavers run along it? Well, guess what? They can decide whether they want to make their web sticky or not sticky. So all the circular parts of an orb weaver web are sticky and the long parts are not. So they run across the outer rungs of the web to catch their prey when it lands on their web. So that's really cool. So do you want to see the video of how I did this? I will show it to you. Just let me try to share my screen one more time. And like you saw earlier, I'm an amateur for sure. So give me a minute. So there we go. We saw the eye arrangement. Nope, that's not it. Hold on one more time. You want to start asking Josh some pictures, some questions? I'll share my video. Sure. And maybe you can start doing questions.
Yep, let me find the ones that we didn't answer yet. I know we answered how do spiders have so much silk.
Uh-oh. You can hear it already? Or is that just me?
I think just you. It looks like actually, Jenny, you answered a lot of our questions just in your presentation.
Okay, I think I can share this video now and show you how to make these cute little spider web pretzel guys. No. Boy, oh boy, I'm silly. We need to do these more often, I guess. Stop sharing. Okay, share. Here we go. Spiders. Spider web pretzels. Is it sharing?
I don't see it yet, Jenny.
Okay, so why it's open share tray. It's right here.
Now it's coming up
There
now,
it is.
Jenny. There we go. Your desktop is live. If you can hit the video.
It's playing. Is that it?
It actually paused us. We've had this problem before, Jenny. We had a problem with this during a Malabar event where sometimes it just doesn't really seem to like videos. So can you just describe real quick how you did it?
Yes, I certainly will. I certainly will.
So you're live now, Jenny. Yeah, if
okay.
you could just go through it real quick.
Okay, so it was really easy. What I did is I got some meltable chocolate and I tried it twice. So I want to tell you my mistake the first time. When I was melting my chocolate, I used a double boiler, an old-fashioned double boiler. And so I had water in the bottom and I had the chocolate in the top. And I turned it on, and last night I let the water boil and the chocolate got kind of, the consistency changed. So if you over melt your chocolate or let it be on heat too long, it won't drizzle properly. So you'll want to make sure that you don't let the water boil. Some of you may do this in a microwave. I don't actually have a microwave, but you can do it in a microwave. Put it in a glass bowl and turn on your microwave for 1 minute and then stir it around. And then you just take a spoon and you drizzle the spoon over the pretzels in a circular motion really slowly. And you first have to put a blob of chocolate right in the middle. Do you see the blob? So once you've got them all laid out on the wax paper, you put your blob of chocolate right in the middle, and then you drizzle in circles all the way around. And then you can have, and then I tried to make a little spider right there too. There's my little spider. So you can even decorate these little guys and share them with your friends and family. I can't hear you, Jenna.
This should help. Thank you so much, Josh and Jenny. This was fascinating. I know I learned some things about spiders that I didn't know today. I think that we have everybody's questions answered. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Next week, we are going to be going to, I mentioned Malabar a few minutes ago. Next week, we are going to go to Malabar Farms, which made USA Today's top 10 list of most haunted destinations. So the naturalists there will be sharing some of their spooky ghost stories with us. So next Wednesday, same time, please join us. It's sure to be an exciting one. They have several ghosts at Malabar that they can talk about. So thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.